Okay, everybody, hello. Dosha Maruguat Marushima A Ishuya head. So I said hello, relatives. My name is Eagle Woman. I'm Mandan Tiraza Rikara from Newtown, North Dakota, just northwest of here, and I work with the Indigenous Environmental Network. We'd like to thank you all for coming here today on Saturday, November 26th, and experiencing this global warming here with us today. We wanted to talk about a response to the Army Corps of Engineers letter that was received yesterday, as well as some other things during this month of November, which some of you may or may not know is Native American Heritage Month. And we're going to offer perspectives from the Youth Council with Tomas Lopez. We're going to offer perspectives from continuation of youth, but also Sacred Stone Camp here with Aaron Weiss, Dallas Goldtooth with the Indigenous Environmental Network. We want to hear from some of our spiritual folks and the spiritual piece which Isaac will bring in for us. Some of the actions pieces and kind of what we've been framing with Nick Tilson here. And we'll end with comments from Tribal Chairman Dave Archambault. We are going to be providing short time at the end for a few questions. The panelists will be available afterwards on an individual basis as they agree for press to visit with one-on-one. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. I'm going to have each person introduce themselves, and we're going to start with Moss.
Hello, thank you all for coming here today. Thank you to my elders for asking me to come and speak on behalf of the International Indigenous Youth Council. My name is Tomas Lopez Jr. I'm from Denver, Colorado. My mother is Sharon Dominguez Lopez and my father is Sanes Chief Tomas Lopez Sr. I am here to talk about the past few hundred years and the many broken treaties that have occurred. We've been lied to for over 500 years, and we're here to request that President Obama honor his word that he made to the Standing Rock Youth when he came here in 2014. President Obama, when you came here, you promised that you would protect tribal sovereignty and spiritual belief. You promised to protect our sacred way of life, and here we are today standing up for that sacred way. You mentioned nothing on your Thanksgiving Day. You spoke nothing of us or to us. Many of our youth, many of our council members on the International Indigenous Youth Council, if not all of the members on the International Indigenous Youth Council, have experienced the brutality that has come from the Morton County Sheriff's Office and also the National Guard, from broken limbs, injuries from flash bombs, internal bruising, and the everlasting consequences and results of PTSD. I'm asking you now, President Obama, if this were happening to your daughters, Sasha and Malia, would you say something? Or would you stand in silence and let them brutalize your own children? On behalf of the International Indigenous Youth Council and our allies and all youth around the world, we are asking that you step in now and assist us in stopping the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Sanjo, my name is Coaspiwe. My name is Aaron Wise. I come from the Negri Apache Nation in Laguna Pueblo in New Mexico. And I am here to represent my aunt, LaDonna Bravewell Allard, who is the founder of the Sacred Stone Camp. When my auntie came in April, she told me that her intention was not to set up a camp that looked like this. Her intention was to stop people from putting a pipeline in the place before her son's grave. She said that she wanted to ensure a peaceful resting place for her son, and she did not think that when she started her camp it was going to evolve into this. She's grateful for it. But on behalf of Sacred Stone Camp and my aunt, we went to Washington, D.C. last week, and we met with the General of the United States Army Corps of Engineers, and he looked me in the eye, and I told him what happened. And I told him what happens to people that are left unprotected. Right now, our land is to be left unprotected if we are to leave this space. And being a woman that has survived sexual assault, I just want to say that we are not going to allow that to happen to our mothers. We stand with all women who have been hurt, but we especially stand with our mother who is continually hurt and sanctioned by the United States government. That hurt is a continuance of the hurt that has been brought upon us for the last 500 years. We're not going to stand for it anymore. I also want to say to President Obama that, in light of what Tomas said, the indigenous youth are calling upon the United States government for protection. They're begging for people to start caring about them. We have 3 times the national rate of suicide in any other community. We have children that are killing themselves every single day because they want to be a part of this country so badly, but they are continually ignored. And my aunt who stands behind our youth councils here and who is a grandmother and a mother herself, she does represent the sacred here, and the children are what we need to protect. We need to think about them going forward. And I think that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers needs to remember that these are children that we are protecting, and that if they continue to support Morton County and the North Dakota state government, that they are not protecting the children and that they are responsible for. I would just ask that whoever is watching this that is in power, you remember the children, and you remember that we as sacred people, as prayerful people, will continue to make our stand. Done.
My name is Dallas Goldtooth. I'm Dakota, and I work with the Indigenous Environmental Network. And I first and foremost want to acknowledge all our relatives who traveled from afar, and also acknowledge our relatives, the Hunkpapa Oyate, and relatives from the Standing Rock Sioux Nation who invited us to this land, and we're their guests, and say acknowledgements for that. I also wanted to state that we have our relative, our sister organization, Honor the Earth, couldn't be here at this moment. They had a representative supposed to be planned to speak, but 4 of their vehicles had all their tires slashed this morning in Mandan up in North Dakota. And so their vehicles are incapacitated. And it just demonstrates the environment in which we are in right now. This letter by the Army Corps of Engineers is just a disgusting continuation of 500 years of colonization and systemic oppression. And it's absurd for us to see such a declaration the day after Thanksgiving. But that's the state of the affairs that we are in. It doesn't matter whether you're Dakota, Lakota, Nueta, Sanish, or Cheyenne. This is the land our ancestors are from. This is the land where our ancestors dreamed of our existence, of our songs, and of our future lives. And in defense of those dreams, in defense of our ancestors, we stand strong. We stand strong to protect the sacredness of Mother Earth. We stand strong to defend our rights as Indigenous peoples. And we stand strong to defend our territorial treaty rights as Oceti Sakowin Oyate. That's the stand that we make, and we continue to stand by that. This movement that you see before us is not a movement of hate, but just a movement of undying love for our land and our people in the water. And that's what we're here for, and that's what we'll stick to. So thank you very much.
Government trajectory Isaac Weston match up in Oglala and Matahana in Hawaii Gimastan Hawaii Ernest Weston Senior match up Chiapi. I'm of the Great Sioux Nation and I represent my Oglala Lakota people. We brought back the Oceti Sakowin and the fire is lit. And there's representatives here from all 7 council fires. And our biggest concern from the 1851 to 1868. 1868, our boundaries go to the Heart River, just north of here. So these are our lands, and we have treaty Indians here who are here to enforce that treaty. And the Army Corps of Engineers, they aren't our landlords. As it states in the treaties that us as the Oceti Sakowin, the Lakota people, we are the wardens of the land. This is our land. They can't remove us. They need to respect our treaties and respect our rights.